Hello, and welcome to Don Hammond's Arlington Weekly News. I'm Daniel Pineda. We have a great program this week. We have our news stories, community bulletin board, and 55 plus news. But first, a social media reminder. You can watch the Arlington Weekly News on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Arlington Weekly News and the number 1. Also on Facebook and WERA 96.7. FM. And now on to our first news story for this week. Arlington County's COVID case site has reported that they are taking off for the Memorial Day holiday, with the most recent data being dated May 26th. As we reported last week, the total case count on that day was 48,654. The increase over the previous report 10 days earlier was 1,658. As for vaccinations, we examined Arlington County's vaccination tracker. The most recent date for that site is also on hiatus. As of that last reported date, 200,178 Arlingtonians aged 5 and above have received at least one dose of the COVID vaccine. They show that figure as 88.3% of their estimated eligible population of 226,754 Arlingtonians. 26,576 Arlingtonians remain unvaccinated. There will be a true update after the next dashboards report sometime after June 8th. Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine for 5 through 11-year-olds is still available at the following locations. Arlington Mill Community Center, that's located at 909 South Dinwiddie Street, and Walter Reed Community Center, that's located at 2909 16th Street South. Walk-ins for 5 through 11-year-olds are available Monday through Friday from 2 p.m. to 6:45 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday from 9 a.m. to 4:45 p.m. For more information, consult the Arlington County website. We received news of an unusual event coming up. It's called a poetry slam. It's a chance to join both novice and experienced poetry slammers as they share their talents while discussing recovery from issues including mental illness, substance abuse, and homelessness. The deadline for actual participation is June 10th, but the event itself will take place on June 25th at 7 p.m. This is Creativity with a Cause. Recovery Program Solutions of Virginia, or RPSV. They offer a safe, stigma-free place for those experiencing mental illness, substance abuse, and or homelessness issues. Donations are welcome but not mandatory. To perform, you can email mtaylor@recoveryprograms.us. If you missed the performing deadline but still want to join in the fun, go to RPSV Poetry Slam 2022.eventbrite.com.
Our next item comes from the Arlington County government. We have chosen to call it a program by any other name might not smell as sweet. Here is a portion of Arlington's text. The Neighborhood Conservation Program has a new name, Arlington Neighborhoods Program. The Department of Community Planning, Housing and Development, the Department of Environmental Services, and the Department of Parks and Recreation announced a new name for the interdepartmental program after almost a year-long renaming process. In May 2019, the county initiated a review of the Neighborhood Conservation Program, the first program review in its 58-year history, and a final report was issued in February 2021. The Neighborhood Conservation Program Review final report recommended changing the program name because the word conservation often evokes a negative connotation and suggests exclusivity. In June 2021, the CPHD Neighborhood Services Division created an implementation framework to guide changes to the program using NCPR recommendations and the county's equity objectives. The Arlington Neighborhoods Program offers a unique grassroots approach to improving and enhancing neighborhoods. When the program was created in 1964, the goal was to empower residents by having them come together to discuss and share ideas for improving their neighborhoods. Arlington is committed to community development and resident engagement, and this program remains a vital part of Arlington's civic landscape. Today, the program provides funding for a variety of capital improvement projects, including sidewalks, curbs and gutters, street lights, signs, park improvements, neighborhood art, and beautification. The Neighborhood Conservation Advisory Committee, which is also considering a new name, leads the development of neighborhood plans and recommends neighborhood-initiated capital improvements for funding by the county board. The name change is only one component of a larger rebrand recommended in the NCPR final report, and the rebranding is one of 6 focus areas in the broader implementation framework. The framework includes an in-depth analysis and potential changes to the core components of the program, including neighborhood plans, projects, the NCAC, funding, and county policy. Other elements of the rebranding, including an updated mission statement, new program guides, and updates to web pages, will be completed in the future. The community will receive additional updates as the implementation framework moves forward. End quote. We note the statement that the word conservation often evokes a negative connotation and suggests exclusivity. According to Webster's dictionary, conservation actually means a careful preservation and protection of something, especially planned management of a natural resource to prevent exploitation, destruction, or neglect. We are concerned that a word that actually refers to these concepts is being deliberately removed. We also note references to beautification, but not tree canopy, natural resources, or sustainability. That is why we call this item a program by any other name might not smell as sweet. One final news item. For the past few weeks, we have taken some time to highlight some of the other programs that are available on WERA-FM. Now the station has announced a temporary hiatus from broadcasting pre-recorded programs for the month of June. This pause is similar to the one that took place on the television station around 2013, which was due to the station's conversion to high-definition television. The radio station is undergoing a similar conversion process, which is intended to improve reliability. Devotees of certain pre-recorded programs need not fear. They have only to wait until July, when their favorite pre-recorded programs will return to their customary time slots. It is simply a part of growth and change. That's enough news for this week. Now it's time for Community Bulletin Board, or CBB.
Hi, and welcome to CBB. Our first CBB event is for adults. It's called Deep Dive Catalpa Trees. Meet a tree, its caterpillars, their parasites, and the bacteria that make it all work. Discover the complex relationships centering on one tree at Gulf Branch Nature Center. The activity number is 642-842-C, and that's on Wednesday, June 15th from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock p.m. This is a virtual event. Our next event comes through the Arlington Public Library. It's a meeting of the Strange Lands Book Club. This book club meets on the third Wednesday evening of the month for informal discussions on a wide range of science fiction titles voted on by participants. This is a volunteer-led book club, and it will meet virtually on Zoom. The book in June is Exhalation by Ted Chiang, in which an alien scientist makes a shocking discovery with ramifications not just for his own people, but for all of reality. New members are always welcome. You don't have to read the book to join, but it's encouraged. You can register online through the library website. They'll send you an event reminder and the Zoom link to join. A Zoom account is not required to participate. For more information, contact Gaby at GSANTAOLLA@arlingtonva.us or just call 703-228-6319. That's on Wednesday, June 15th from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock p.m. Next up, Roslyn Cinema is back on the lawn at Gateway Park. Join in Friday evenings in June for a summer lineup of your favorite movies, voted by you in the March Madness movie bracket. The movies range from kids' animated movies to the perfect date night rom-com, and even adventure, so there's a genre for everyone. The event is free and no registration is required. They will have beer and wine for sale starting at 5 o'clock p.m. and different food trucks throughout the series. Get some food on site or pick up from any of the local Roslyn restaurants and grab the perfect spot on the lawn to enjoy the evening. The movies will begin approximately at sundown. The next movie will be Space Jam. That's on Friday, June 17th from 5 o'clock to 9:30 p.m. at Gateway Park, 1300 Langston Boulevard. Our next CBB event is for kids aged 9 to 12. It's called Nature's Navigators. Where are we in the world right now? How do we know? What if we need to go somewhere we've never been before? We'll discuss how different animals would answer those questions and use tools to find our way. The event is free. The activity number is 642-822-B. That's on Friday, June 17th from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock p.m. at Gulf Branch Nature Center, 3608 Military Road. Our final CBB event is called Night Sounds Campfire. The whole family is invited to join in for lots of old-fashioned fun. This engaging program will be filled with entertaining activities that may include stories, special animal guests, games, songs, and of course, s'mores. They'll provide the marshmallows, chocolate, and graham crackers, but the cost is $5. The activity number is 642-852-A. That's on Friday, June 17th from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock p.m. at Gulf Branch Fire Ring, 3608 Military Road. Now it's time for 55 Plus News.
Howdy, and welcome to 55 Plus News. Are you interested in experiencing new places? Well, here is your opportunity to learn about destinations near and far from local travel gurus and start planning your next trip. 55 Plus volunteer Lowell Nelson will share his recent travel experiences in Oaxaca, Mexico, including delicious food, local history, traditional crafts, and natural beauty. You can register online at the Parks and Recreation website. For more information, call 703-228-4747. The activity number is 914-400-04. That's on Wednesday, June 15th from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock p.m. at Aurora Hills Community Center, 735 18th Street South. You gotta be 55 and up, and 55 Plus membership is required. Next up, We got something called Cooking with the Grandkids. Now, I don't care if they wake you up in the middle of your nap or if they get finger paint on your bath towels. It's just not right to hear Cooking with the Grandkids and think about cannibalism. This ain't that kind of event. What it is about finding tasty foods that you and your grandkids will both enjoy, even if it can be a challenge. Nancy Broth, Virginia Cooperative Extension volunteer, will be there to help. She will teach you some fun foods that are kid-friendly and Grandma and Grandpa approved. You can register online at the Parks and Recreation website. That's on Wednesday, June 15th from 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. at Walter Reed Community Center, 2909 16th Street South. You gotta be 55 and up, and 55 plus membership is required. Our next 55 plus event is called Turn Your Hobby into a Small Business. I reckon it would work real well if your hobby is collecting miniatures, but this is about more than that. It asks a real question. Do you have a hobby that friends and family have been telling you to turn into a business? If so, here's your chance to join Mike Sisson, entrepreneur and CEO of Magellan Tutoring, as he instructs you on what is needed to start and maintain a small business. You can register online at the Parks and Recreation website. The activity number is 914-400-23. That's on Wednesday, June 15th from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock p.m. at Arlington Mill Community Center, 909 South Dinwiddie Street. You gotta be 55 and up, and 55 plus membership is required. Our next event is called All About Basil. Might be all about Basil, I forget which. It's not a biography of the guy who played Sherlock Holmes in those 1940s movies. It's about a spice. At least I think that's what it is. Everyone has basil in their cupboard, but what do you use it for? Join Virginia Cooperative Extension Master Food Volunteers for a presentation on the many uses of basil and learn some tasty recipes. You can register online at the Parks and Recreation website. That's on Thursday, June 16th from 12 o'clock noon to 1 o'clock p.m. at Arlington Mill Community Center, 909 South Dinwiddie Street. You gotta be 55 and up, and 55 plus membership is required. Our final 55 plus event is called Afternoon Piano Lounge. It's a chance to beat the heat and chill out this summer with mocktails, 55 plus friends, and relaxing music by pianist Daniel Austin. It's sponsored by the Aurora Hills Advisory Committee. You can register online at the Parks and Recreation website. The activity number is 914-301-06, and that's on Friday, June 17th from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock p.m. at Aurora Hills Community Center, 735 18th Street South. You gotta be 55 and up, and 55 plus membership is required. Anyway, that's all I got for 55 plus news.
It's Television Man.
John Ayers was the unofficial mayor of Westover from 1948 to 1976. This plaque was created in memory of a man whose dedication to Westover's children was of paramount importance. He used his commercial establishment as a platform for service to his community. His love and dedication to Westover will radiate as long as he is remembered, and we won't forget.
Hi, I'm here with Christy Peterkin, and she's the daughter of the Ayers Hardware owner. Welcome, Christy.
Thank you.
So, what is Ayers Hardware exactly?
We are an old school mom and pop 5 and 10. My theory is, and hopefully our motto is, if we don't have it, you don't need it.
I see, that's so charming. So, you basically carry things that most other stores don't carry anymore.
We try to. If it's something you're having a hard time finding and I can get it for you, I will. And if I can't, I'll go through the internet and try to dig it up for you. Even if I can't get it, I'll tell you where you can.
Right, and what do you find that the community says about Ayers Hardware?
Generally, we get positive feedback. People like to walk in the front door and take a deep breath in because it smells like their childhood.
Yes.
The stores they remember from back in the day.
Right.
And that's true for a lot of the folks my age and older, but even the younger generations seem to appreciate that we're a little bit different.
Right. Yes, I could see that right away when I first walked into this place years ago, coming from California, and I had never been in here, but immediately felt right at home.
Oh, good.
And what else is it besides? I mean, it just seems like you have the hardware store section, part of it, and then this additional section.
So we sell a little bit of everything. The hardware side is kind of a mini hardware. We don't have a lumber section, but we do have a little bit of everything else that you could probably want. The variety side is a huge mix. We have toys, we have school supplies, housewares, household chemicals, both indoor and outdoor chemicals.
Alarm clocks.
We do. We have alarm clocks.
Everything.
We do.
Pumice stone.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
coming here for
absolutely.
So, can you tell me a little bit about the history of Ayers?
So the store was started in the late 1940s by John Ayers. I don't know the exact date because I've never gone down to pull the business license, but
Okay.
we know late 40s.
Right.
He owned it until 1976 when he passed away, and that's when my parents purchased it from his nephew who did not wish to be a retailer. And we've had it ever since.
Oh, that's so nice. It must be comforting for so many Arlingtonians to have this store here.
They tell us it is. They don't want us to change anything. When my father purchased it, he had to change the shelving because it was unfortunately a shoplifter's paradise of little hidey holes and things.
Oh my gosh.
And so when he changed it, we heard negative feedback for years. 15, 20 years later, you changed the counters.
That's so funny.
But people finally got used to it and
great.
thankfully didn't stop shopping here.
Yeah. So what's your father's name?
Ronald Kaplan, and my mom's name is Wilma.
That's awesome.
And they still come in a couple days a week, and my brother and I manage it for them the rest of the time.
That's so great.
It's fun.
So how do you find yourselves involved in the community?
So we do several events with the other businesses in Westover. We do an Easter egg hunt every year over at Reed School's playground area. We usually do a Halloween event that the trick-or-treaters can come and trick-or-treat at the different stores.
Oh, that's so nice.
We have had a Santa here every year since who knows when.
Right.
And our Santa is free for those who bring their children down. They bring their cell phones and take pictures and sit and chat at will. And it's kind of nice because it's not a big, scary experience at the mall. It's just Santa sitting up in the hardware section.
Right. So is that any day during the holiday season? Or?
It's certain days, and we post it both on our Facebook page and on our front door.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So it's
And do the people from the farmers market, which takes place, I think, on Sundays, right?
yes.
Do they come in here after that, or does the store have a representative that goes over there, or do you notice any effect either way?
Not really. Unfortunately for us, our business tended to slow down some on Sundays with the advent of the farmers market. We're not quite sure what the reason for that was, but we don't generally see much business directly at that time.
I see.
No.
Interesting. Okay.
Not sure why.
Yeah. But you have a lot of additional employees besides yourself that work here, isn't that right?
We do. We have all total 17 employees. 7 of those are full-time, and the rest are part-time teenagers and college students who we have hired and employed for years.
Wow. Well, I know that there are some very regular employees that I recognize every time I come in here.
Oh, yes. Yes, our full-timers we have been here a long time. We even have one employee who's been here 55 years. She worked for Mr. Ayers back in the day.
Wow. That's so nice.
Yeah.
Well, I immediately noticed the beautiful smell in this place when I walked in here today, and I really want to thank you for having us here.
It's our
And
pleasure.
it's fun walking into little comforts of home like Grandma's home. So thank you so much for having us.
Thank
at
you for
Ayers
coming.
Hardware. All right. See you soon.
Okay.
And that concludes this week's show. We will be back next week with more news from Arlington. Meanwhile, be careful, be safe, and be well.